It's Nolan.
Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Modern day menace, poverty stricken. How do these niggas that rap? I'm probably the realest. Dropping the sickness, I'm just minding my business. I drop a pic on the gram, they ask if I'm minding my fitness. I got 'em. Dame Lillard, I ball hard, but I'm overshadowed. Dame Dash when I call shots, it just cause battles. My Dame flattered, they throwing shots, it just more ammo. I let them talk, then I put the hawk to their bone marrow. I'm from a dynasty, this industry is comedy. My mind is deep as Deuteronomy, you just geometry. Bending out of shape, but it's business all on my plate, yeah. Niggas know I'm great, I'm offending y'all cause you fake, yeah. Smile on my face, but I'm plotting on world domination. No altercations, just alterations in conversation. I shit these niggas quick as Christians with the worldview. Even Jehovah Witness when I swerve through. Yeah, need landmarks on my image, y'all through my village, y'all crossing the line of scrimmage. Hope y'all invested in stitches, yeah. My whole life I've been taking for granted. I've been taking what's granted, now I'm just taking advantage. Dinner place with the salmon, dinner dates in the Hampton. Taking my place cause I planned it, ain't no more ways to distract them. Yeah, I work hard, I deserve it, ay. Purified like a virgin, ay. Visualize picture perfect, ay. It's even better now in person, ay. I work hard, I deserve it, ay. Purified like a virgin, ay. Visualize picture perfect, ay. It's even better now in person, yeah.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there today. Now, I know some of y'all were requesting yesterday that I speak to this Tory Lanez alleged stabbing that happened in prison. One of the reasons why I didn't talk about this yesterday is because, honestly, there's not a great deal of details that are out there, at least not confirmed details that are out there about this situation. So it would have been a very short video. Okay. Now, a lot of things ended up happening in the public eye yesterday. You know, we covered day one of Diddy's trial. We talked about the Wayno situation with Lauren LaRosa, the DJ that don't spin. But also what happened yesterday is Doja Cat shared a video on social media. The video that she linked was to how black women are, you know, historically treated badly, but a portion of the video was in support of Megan Thee Stallion and talking about the way that she was, unceremoniously treated by the public, the industry, and many people at large, on the heels of her being shot by Tory Lanez. So I'm actually going to talk about both of those things in this video in an effort to, you know, streamline more information into one video rather than just doing a 2-minute update on his health or anything like that. All right. So what I'm going to do now is pull up TMZ's video where they kind of give a little context as to what happened, at least from the information that they have. Because again, there's not a lot of details concerning the situation. But what we do know is he was allegedly stabbed 14 times, 2 in the head, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to go ahead and allow them to describe what they have.
Tory Lanez got out of prison, not the way he wanted to get out of prison, and only temporarily, but he is in a hospital right now as we speak, getting treated for stabbing injuries that he suffered this morning at the California State Prison, where he is doing time for the Megan Thee Stallion shooting. What we're told is that he was outside of his cell. We're not sure if it was the yard or if it was still within the prison walls, but was stabbed multiple times and had to be rushed to a hospital by ambulance. There are trying to get information about what the status of what his condition is right now. And it sounds at the very least serious. Murky. It's definitely serious.
Yeah, so obviously we've been reaching out to everyone involved. We had one source said that it was non-life-threatening injuries, but then we have other people that are telling us that, you know, this was a very serious stabbing, I mean, as any stabbing is, and that he, you know, was rushed to the hospital. So we're pushing and trying to get a more clear-cut update. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely crazy because I believe just a week ago there was a photo of him that surfaced.
Less than that.
Where he
posted this.
Yeah, he was smiling or, looking good. He looks super
Looking
buff.
pretty fit, yeah.
And looks good. And then just to think that, less than a week later, he would be transferred to the hospital is obviously a very serious situation.
What happens in prison? I mean, this is not the first one, but when you're high profile, and we've seen it with others, your target.
Hi, it's Carrington from Houston, Texas. And I think the most important question is the other guy okay? I'm hoping that Tory Lanez can still dance after the stabbing, but after his 10-year sentence, I hope we as Americans do our due diligence and get illegal immigrants out of this country. But keep your head up, Tory. Hopefully you get back on your good foot.
Wow. I didn't know if that was a thing about, because there was a thing about Tory Lanez possibly being deported. So
Oh,
I don't know if that was what
I was
she
wondering. I
referring
did not
to there.
know that. Is that right?
Yes, that because he's a Canadian citizen. And
Okay.
There are people saying he should be deported once he gets out.
Got it.
Yo, that was my real-time reaction. I did not see that. Oh, shit. And she say from Houston, Texas, get up on your good foot. Wow. Woo, shit. They say karma is a bitch and she do come back with a bite. My God. Not calling that young lady a B in any form. I said karma's a B, okay? Wow. Damn, that was full on Ruthless Records. I ain't gonna lie. Let's get to some updates here. This is from Yahoo News / The Independent. They say rapper who shot Megan Thee Stallion pulling through after being stabbed 14 times. Interesting headline there. He is all of that though. Rapper Tory Lanez is pulling through after being stabbed 14 times in a California prison on Monday. A post on his social media said Lanez, born Daystar Peterson, had been stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. People are alleging that the one in the facial area is what they're calling a $150, which is prison terms for a slice across the face. I have not seen him or his condition to confirm if that's what it was, but they do say there's one on the face. Both of his lungs collapsed and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own, the post added. Okay. Now, both of your lungs collapse, and that's pretty severe. Despite being in pain, he is talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. The Canadian artist is serving 10 years in the California Correctional Institution at Tehachapi for shooting rapper Megan Thee Stallion in the foot in 2020. Lanez was attacked inside a prison housing unit at around 7:20 a.m. Pedro Calderon Michel, spokesman for the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, confirmed to the AP. Staff at the prison gave Lanez immediate medical aid and called 911, following which he was rushed to an outside hospital. I believe there is some footage circulating on the internet of him being transported via helicopter. Michelle added that the prison's investigative unit and the Kern County District Attorney's Office were investigating what happened. Lanez was convicted of assault with 3 felonies in late 2022 for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. She had said Lanez shot her after a party at Kylie Jenner's Hollywood Hills home on July 12, 2020 because they had gotten into an argument. Megan, whose real name is Megan Pete, testified that Tory Lanez had fired a gun at the back of her feet and shouted for her to dance as she walked away from an SUV in which they had been riding. Lanez was sentenced to 10 years in prison in 2023, but is eligible for parole in 2029. Megan recently had her order of protection against Lanez extended to 2030 after she alleged that Lanez was harassing her from prison through his associates, namely Milagro Grams. Lanez has maintained his innocence, writing an Instagram post following his conviction that in no way, shape, or form was I apologizing for the charges I'm being wrongfully convicted of. I believe that is in reference to the phone call that circulated shortly after this incident took place of him literally apologizing to Kelsey and telling her to send his apologies to Megan. He says, I remain on the stance that I refuse to apologize for something that I did not do. In May of 2023, a judge denied a motion for him to be given a new trial. Lane's lawyers had argued that some of the evidence against him was incorrectly admitted. Okay? So that's what we have from Yahoo News, aka syndicated through The Independent. We shall continue. Now, as it pertains to Tory Lanez' physical condition after this attack in prison, there are some people that are questioning the validity of the post that was shared on his social media about him breathing properly and his recovery after such a brutal attack that would have affected many of his arteries or things of that nature, you know. So there's this one lady by the name of Kay Smitty, and she states, "I'm sorry, gotta circle back. I have too much trauma ICU experience and have taken care of countless stabbing victims to let this slide." She says, "You get stabbed 14 times, twice being in the head and bilateral pneumos. You're not getting extubated and will have multiple trips to the OR as in operating room, if I'm not mistaken." So she's questioning the validity of the claims. Either the stabbing wasn't as serious as it's being portrayed, or perhaps the story of this quick recovery is being blown out of proportion. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's not doing as well as they're portraying on his social media. I don't know. I can't say. I'm just saying this is a very viral post that's going around on social media, and people are now living with some questions about the validity of the claims. I don't know anything, so I can't say yes or no, left or right. I'm just going off of what's circulating on socials, okay? But I must point out, if y'all can remember, there is a very controversial verse from Tory Lanez that dropped just a couple months ago. There was a song called "Handling Business" from DDG and Tory Lanez. And in the song, he was still continuing to take shots at Megan Thee Stallion after all of these things happened, as far as their relationship gone bad, as far as the shooting in which he shot her in the foot and has been convicted and serving prison time for. He put out this verse from behind bars. I want to pull up this verse because it has a very eerie and stark resemblance to what actually took place recently. So in this verse, Tory Lanez rapped, "Stick to my cell and I think about the rumors and shit that they selling. The money in pocket is heavy, I can't even count it. I just gotta get it, go scale it and fuck it, let's talk about the rumors. They sent me to prison and gave me a 10-piece cause I wasn't telling. But I made an oath to the city to never go snitching even if it kill me or make me a felon. I go out to visit and bag the bitch out, the baddest bitch out there, then slap the shit out ya. Sent me to prison and all of the talk was if I go down, how to stab the shit out ya. Tommies and bunkers, the knives, the thumpers, the lock and the socks just to crack the shit out ya. I call a shot in the yard, you a problem, I send out a hit and cash app the shit out ya. Standing on business is standing on business. Jay paid the killers to stand on the witness. COs are hating, they banning my visits. They claiming they caught me with hands on the titties. War back to back and we spinning and spinning. My young niggas say he been getting dizzy. I be praying and waiting for the day that niggas come for me the way they did Drizzy. I got the card in the wallet and Big Brody problems, my problem, so fuck how you feeling about it. Brody gonna stand on his own with 2024, ain't no fair ones in Toronto. Pablo, I told you these niggas was talking about us and popping this shit cause we got it. If they had $1 for every time we think about them, they wouldn't even have $1. Shorty, my city talk about me highly. Know that these bitches never can deny me. Only one thing I regret on that night is jumping up out of the pool with Kylie. I got the dogs, the wolves, they slimy. I'm even coming home sooner than I think. All right, he was not sent home, but he is out of the cell currently. They thought that I wasn't recording inside of the cell. Like I wasn't spitting the fire in hell. Like I wasn't cracking the code, and as if that ain't the real reason why I'm in the jail. I had to say hello, goodbye from the other side like I was Adele. and something real good coming out the appeal. Just don't bust a Yui when I'm out the cell, little bitch. Don't bust a Yui when I'm out the cell. Like, don't try to spin the block on me. It's over. Wonder who he's talking to there. The locks, the thumpers, and stab the shit out you, huh? That's crazy. Talking about whacking people in the jail, only to turn around and it seems that he was pursued with a whack. Interesting. At this point, we will continue the video. So this is what's going on social media as well, pertaining to Miss Doja Cat. Remember, at the top of the video, I told you that she shared a video on social media called Just Say You Hate Women. And there were a lot of things covered in the video, but the thing that's catching a lot of steam right now is the portion in which she speaks about Megan Thee Stallion and the hate that she's received ever since being shot by Tory Lanez in the foot in that 2020 incident. It seems that people just don't want to see her do well, don't want her to have a voice. And a lot of her music and other things that she's been doing outside of music, her business ventures, her appearances at high profile events, they always seem to get marred by a specific group of people who just won't let it go and say, you know, oh, she's got the sympathy fro on, or, oh, look at her. They just don't like to see her being out happy, living her life, continuing to try to pursue happiness in this business. So Doja Cat has found herself in a controversial position for supporting Megan Thee Stallion. Wouldn't you know? So they say here, Barbs are attacking Doja Cat for sharing a video of a blogger calling out Nicki Minaj for bashing Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, so this is the screenshot of the post that Doja Cat made. Just say you hate women. Okay, now I don't know who this creator is who created the video. I have not watched the video in full, but there are some summaries out there about what it pertains to, and I'm going to play the portion specifically about Megan Thee Stallion in a moment. But here, I guess in the Just Say You Hate Women video, they have a specific post from Nicki Minaj here. Let me see if I could zoom that in a little further. Might not be able to. Negative. But let me see if I can read it nonetheless. It says, y'all want to bring up family members and lying on your dead mother. Lied to Gail, lied on and fucked your best friend man. Told me to drink and go to the clinic if I was pregnant. All because I wouldn't let your funky butt pour liquor down my throat. Bitch thinks she a bully cause she get a Rock Nation brunch every year. Be mad at party. He told all of your tea, but you taking shots at my family? Blah ha ha. Get up on your good foot. Pink Friday 2. Platinum. Go apologize to your mother. Nasty serpent. Repent. So that was around the time when Hiss came out. She spiraled out on social media. She put out a lot of posts going at Megan and also released a diss record in return called Bigfoot. Okay. There's another post down here. I don't know if this is from the same video. Perhaps it is. From Nicki Minaj. This bitch ain't get streamed in 84 years. Interesting. Her team don't want me to drop because they know those numbers gonna embarrass her lying lipo ass. Still trying to find the lipo. And she know I got proof of what she did. And after how she allowed her best friend to be bullied, her girl best friend, attacked and ripped to shreds while Kelsey was pregnant with her first child after she had fucked her best friend man. It wasn't enough, but this is y'all girl's girl, right? Any mother taking this woman's side, may God strike you down. Don't want me to drop because she gotta have a ghostwriting session for another week to get back to me. I had the song beat for 6 years. Not like a hit. Juju eat dick for shit. What a scary ass bitch. Yikes. Pink Friday 2 is platinum. Okay? Those are the remarks that were brought up in the video from Nicki Minaj. This Just Say You Hate Women. This was screen capped a day ago. It was at over 195,000 views. Interesting. We've got another social post here. This is from Doja Hubs, clearly a Doja Cat stan page or support page. And it says, Doja Cat shares a link via X. The link is for a YouTube video that's about an hour long and addresses the hate women endure and have endured in time. These are the topics spoken about in the video. So this is a summary of all things addressed. Palestine, Gaza, the misogyny slop ecosystem, carceral culture. I don't know if that's carceral or cancel, but we'll continue. Witches, prison, and surveillance. Sarah Bartman, colonial photography, Venus and Serena, Anita Hill, and last but certainly not least, Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, so there is a whole variety of things addressed in this video. Megan Thee Stallion, of course, is the main piece everybody's honing in on, especially coming from Doja supporting Megan. And, you know, the video points out some of the things that Nicki Minaj said about Megan. Doja came out once before and was telling people to stop trying to police Megan Thee Stallion's body. So Doja and Megan are friends. We saw them recently out at, you know, the whole Met Gala and everything, having a great time. Megan has talked about how they hang out and how they, you know, basically link up for parties. People want them to do a collab, but she says they just have so much fun together. They don't really ever get around to talking or making music. So here we actually have the video that is being debated about. And this is the segment and portion where she actually speaks about Megan Thee Stallion. Shout out to Opinionated Truths for sending this my way. Let's see what she had to say.
Unceasing violence. On July 13th, 2020, TMZ reported a disturbance in Hollywood Hills. Witnesses told 911 that they heard arguing, followed by gunshots, before a car sped off. When police finally located this car, they found artist Megan Thee Stallion, her then friend Kelsey, and the musician known as Tory Lanez. Megan was clearly injured, which the world was allowed to see and speculate about due to leaked surveillance footage. 2 days later, on July 15th, Megan alleged that she was shot. Attempting to quell media rumors and intense scrutiny, she stated, "I was never arrested. The police officers drove me to the hospital where I underwent surgery to remove the bullets. I'm incredibly grateful to be alive and that I'm expected to make a full recovery, but it was important to me to clarify the details about this traumatic night." By this point, people were already creating their own brazen ideas of what happened that night, none of which were particularly sympathetic toward Megan. People were either blaming her for what happened, making jokes at her expense, or accusing her of lying about her injuries. In August that same year, Megan publicly named Tory Lanez as her shooter. The media abuse escalated, coming to a head the following month when Tory, who had remained relatively silent up until that point, released a surprise album titled Daystar and a music video that depicted him dismembering a horse. According to Ivy Annie, in an article published for GQ, Daystar served as a reflection and regurgitation of the media violence that was directed at Megan. Quote, "With this album, which is full of inconsistencies, hypocrisy, and self-gratifying soliloquies, Lanez adds fuel to the fire. He uses music as a medium to attack, beg, and gaslight Megan while lionizing himself. Social media became a pipeline through which Megan was surveilled and punished. Her sex life was scrutinized. Her pain and emotions were downplayed, and she was constantly accused of lying." When trial commenced in 2022, Megan took the stand as a witness and explained how the media, both social and institutional, played a role in her hate campaign. "I can't even be happy," she stated. "I can't hold conversations with people for a long time. I don't feel like I want to be on this earth. I wish he would have just shot and killed me. If I knew I would have to go through this torture." Through her testimony and through lyrics referencing this traumatic event, Megan touches on a phenomenon heavily present in the misogyny slop ecosystem. Megan is not perceived to be a perfect victim, not only because of her race, complexion, and body type, and not only because of her personal life and her lyrics, but simply because she's still alive. Not only are her haters eager to punish their targets in general, they get even more frenzied and even more violent if a person survives violence. It's like blood in the water to a shark. Had Tory Lanez murdered Megan that night, people would be much more open to accepting the violence that was enacted against her. Not entirely, because misogyny still dictates that women are to blame for everything that happens to them. But for the most part, the public wouldn't be able to downplay her trauma or pretend it never happened.
But the theater of justice, the theater of true crime, is to tell the tragic stories of good, clean, dead women. Not living, flawed, messy women who still need help and grace. Those women are criminalized. Because if she can breathe, she can lie. And therefore we can doubt her, and therefore we cannot really believe her. Because how can we ever really know?
The hate campaign against Megan is still ongoing. It's been 5 years. Not only is social media still flooded with people calling her a liar or begging for her abuser to be freed from prison, she also has to face misogynistic, violent retribution from her industry peers. People with high platforms like DJ Academics became integral to Megan's smear campaign. Drake, Eminem, and DaBaby have also been insufferably bubble-headed about the entire situation, making jokes about her abuse and, in Drake's case, calling for Tory to be freed. And then there's Nicki Minaj. In early 2024, Megan released Hiss, which features the line, "These hoes ain't mad at Megan, these hoes mad at Megan's Law." Megan's Law requires community notification of sex offenses, meaning offenders not only have to register with local law enforcement, but that registration also then has to be made public. This lyric could be about anyone, clearly. In hindsight, a lot of people consider it a shot at Drake. They view it as a catalyst for the Kendrick and Drake beef. However, Nicki Minaj made the lyric about herself, and everyone paid the price for it. The same day that Hiss dropped, Nicki Minaj began a Twitter crash out that would last nearly a week. The point was to defend her family and avenge her husband, who is on the offender registry. It quickly turned into a stomach-churning, one-sided spar of violence masquerading as rap beef. Nicki accused Megan of lying about being shot. She accused Megan of having an intimate relationship with Tory Lanez, which by that point Megan had already addressed in 2022 and holds no bearing on him abusing her. Nicki then made fun of Megan's alleged alcoholism. She made fun of Megan getting shot, which contradicts her earlier accusation about Megan lying about getting shot. And she repeatedly references Megan's mother, who died in 2019. The attention given to Megan's mother was so intense that the cemetery in which she's buried reportedly upped their security because they were afraid that the grave would be vandalized.
You wicked woman, lying on your dead mom. You are a wicked mom. Fragment foot. Bullet fragment bitch, she a bullet fragment bitch.
Disgusting? It's disgusting work, which has created a long-lasting impact for Megan to this day. Thanks in part to Nicki Minaj, Megan's already viral abuse became song lyrics that people chant at Megan. Song lyrics about gun violence and her deceased mother. This is how misogyny slop and panoptic misogyny works. Perceiving that Megan did something wrong, either by omitting information that was none of our business, having consensual sex, or simply existing as someone who faced intimate partner violence, the world sought to surveil and punish her. This was a bipartisan effort by both men and women, black and white, individual and institution. This is textbook misogynoir under a surveillant and carceral regime. It's the same phenomenon that Rihanna faced in 2009 and that Cassie is facing today, having come forward about Diddy. Women are expected to be silent not only about their life and their accomplishments.
All right, so that's the main piece about Megan from Miss Shanspeare. Glad that I was able to see her name and give her credit for her work, because I wasn't familiar with her name. So shout out to Shanspeare for breaking that down. And of course, that's the part that Doja Cat is catching a lot of heat about. And this is ongoing heat, right? This is heat that's been circulating for the last couple of years. Her and Nicki don't seem to have the best relationship. They've, I guess, talked about collaborating at one point or another. I mean, of course, they worked in the past, but I believe Nicki alluded to a potential Doja feature on Pink Friday 2, but she said that artist didn't think that she liked her. You know what I'm saying? People put that in Doja's direction. Doja, on the other hand, when she was going into her Scarlet era, when she dropped songs like Attention, I believe she even said she thinks she Nicki M or something on that song. People took that as disses aimed in her direction. There was some bars on Paint the Town Red that people thought were aimed at Nicki's direction. And then she proceeded to go on stage and still give some sort of, reverence to Nicki Minaj while performing. So, of course, it seems to be a weird space. On again, off again. We cool, we not, I don't know what the fuck's going on, right? So now people are believing that this is the final straw, or feeling like this is the final straw. Barb's, especially, I guess they saying, you know what? It's completely fuck this girl, all right? As in Doja, for sharing this video that supports Megan and also calls into question Nicki's actions in Meg's direction, right? And I gotta say, y'all gotta show me some love for keeping a motherfucking straight face on that bullet fragment shit, man. That shit, you know what I mean? It's not funny, but the way that she was conveying herself, man, what was that? Woo! People be playing themselves out here. And the most ironic thing about this all is I've had somebody in my comments for the last 2 days that was trying to debate me about Hiss versus Bigfoot. I don't know where they found my post, my video. Because I was talking about a week or so ago when I was talking about Meg's new record, It's Whenever Hoes, Whatever Bitch. You know what I'm saying? They tried to jump in my comments saying Hiss wasn't that good of a record. It was only #1 because Nicki Minaj gave energy to it. I'm like, bro, please leave me with this bullshit. Okay? Because let's be clear, and I don't want to harp on this for too long, but it's just ironic that all of this is happening at the same time. Hiss went #1. It debuted at #1, okay? You can't refute a #1 record. If it stays #1 for 10 weeks, if it stays #1 for 3 weeks, if it falls down, it was #1. All right? Now, if you're going to attribute the #1 position being because of Nicki Minaj, then by that same metric, the same energy that she put into that meltdown and the energy that she put into the actual recording, Bigfoot, that was released just days later, by that estimation, that should have also went #1, right? If it was only because of Nicki's energy. Last time I checked, Bigfoot peaked at number 36. Now, this is very vital because the main argument for people that love Nicki Minaj, and by all means, she does have a ton of #1 hit records. She had the best-selling female rap album of 2023. It continued to do numbers in 2024. She had a massive tour. Give her credit for the accomplishments there. She did it, okay? But y'all love to use numbers in her favor, or metrics, or #1s, but then you want to discredit somebody else going #1. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If everybody's getting credit for their #1s, then let everybody get credit for their #1s. The song just so happened to swipe her in the process. So you would think when you swipe back, you could probably also go number one as the bigger artist, the one with the more massive fan base, the more active fan base. So why is it that it didn't? It would probably speak to the quality of the record, because everyone pretty much universally outside of diehard fans said it was trash. And not trash simply based on industry standard, but even to a Nicki Minaj standard, it was trash. Okay? So we're just going to keep that in perspective here. And I'll take it a step further if we want to go in. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this neither. If we look at the Kendrick and Drake beef, even that was closer in metrics. Because when all the songs were released, when the beef was declared over, or the diss battle was declared over, both artists were dominating the top 10 on Billboard. Kendrick was at the top, but then that 5 through 10, Drake was peppered in there. So it was like, okay, they controlled that situation. You mean to tell, so why is it that Megan goes number 1, Nicki goes 36? But when it's Drake and Kendrick, they dominate the top 10. So that goes to show you that it was not an even match at that time. She didn't put out a good enough record. All right? Again, that's not the central focus of this video, but since I've had somebody trying to go back and forth with me about this for the last 2 days, just going to put a button in it because I'm going to speak it out loud rather than debating with you in the comments, just so you can hear logic. Okay? Now, this will conclude my video on the subject. Let me know what you think of all of this down below in the comments, from Tory Lanez being stabbed in prison, the nature of his health condition after the stabbing, Doja Cat and her support of Megan, which I don't think is going to end anytime soon, and the breakdown of, you know, how that Megan versus Nicki, I don't know what you want to call that, riff played out, since it's now being brought back to the forefront. Share your thoughts. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Much love and respect to y'all, man. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.